You're right on time for Hope TV Newswatch on this 24th day of April 2023. A very good evening to you and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Kennedy Kimani and on the sign language interpretation tonight is Boniface Murithi. Now, President William Ruto has asked security agencies to crack down on individuals who hide behind religion to engage in criminal activities. Speaking during the pass-out parade of cadet officers at Prisons Training College in Ruiru, Kiambu County on Monday, President Ruto referring to the incident in SHAKAHOLA in Kilifi County where the so-called adherents of controversial pastor Paul Mackenzie have died as a result of fasting, said the perpetrators do not belong to any religion. The head of state has expressed concerns that some people are masquerading as religious leaders, yet they are doing contrary to the teachings and religious beliefs.
We must, as a nation, continuously look out for those who want to abuse even the religious sector, people who are masquerading as religious people, yet what they do is contrary to the teachings and to the beliefs of religion, whether they are Christians, Muslim, or indeed any other religion. Terrorists use religion to advance their heinous acts. People like Mr. Mackenzie are using religion to do exactly the same thing. Any religious group that preaches against the tenets of the Constitution, any religious institution that teaches against seeking medical attention or going to school, those responsible should be prosecuted. Those institutions and those religious institutions should be closed down because they are working against the collective interest of the people of Kenya.
Moving on, and even as Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki is expected to tour SHAKAHOLA in Kilifi County on Tuesday, following revelation of mass graves believed to be as a result of a religious cult, Christ is the Answer Ministry's presiding Bishop Callisto Odede has condemned the leader of the alleged cult, Paul Mackenzie. Odede, while speaking to Hope TV in Meru County, linked Mackenzie to rogue pastors in the country who are profiteering from the congregants in the name of preaching the gospel and should face the law. At least 73 bodies have so far been retrieved from the mass graves in SHAKAHOLA, with police detaining Paul Mackenzie as investigations continue.
This is a very unfortunate case because it's a case of misinterpretation of scripture. We have an individual who is enforcing fasting on people without doing fasting according to the biblical regulation. And as a result of that, many people have lost their lives. If he was a responsible person, he needed to have accepted the fact that people did lose their lives and gone to the government and confessed that rather than secretly burying their bodies. Because when he has done that secretly, then it does appear like it's murder. And I think the government should take the steps of investigating properly and taking into account the fact that this is actually murder, because whether it is directly or through inducement or through mind control, I think it's important that the government should take action about this.
Away from that, and President William Ruto has officially commissioned the first cyber knife machine at the Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital. The machine, which is the second of its kind in Africa, is set to deliver highly precise radiation treatment for cancer patients in the country. Our very own reporter Whitney Akinyi attended the launch and filed for us the following report.
Cancer patients in Kenya have a reason to smile as the country has launched the very first cyber knife, which is the latest technology that has a capacity to conduct non-invasive treatment for cancerous and non-cancerous tumors. The 675 million shilling machine has the capacity to attend to up to 20 patients per day. Gracing the event was the Chief Justice and Head of the Judiciary, Justice Martha Koome, who acknowledged that this is a move in the right direction to ensure that the government observes the citizens' fundamental right to life by ensuring good health.
The fundamental rights and freedoms of our citizens. The right to health services is not merely a constitutional provision, but a moral imperative that all of us must strive to achieve and I dare say access to healthcare, quality healthcare, is also akin to access to justice.
Also present during the launch was President William Ruto, who said that there's immense opportunity for investment in the pharmaceutical and consumable manufacturing sector, further adding that the government is putting in place measures to ensure Kenya taps into the health sector as a regional pharmaceutical manufacturing hub, which in return will enhance access to affordable healthcare.
Government therefore intends to sustain its investment and support for highly advanced diagnostic and treatment equipment to actualize the highest standard of treatment and care for all people. The CyberKnife technology at this hospital is the second in our continent, the only other being in Egypt. This propels Kenya to the frontier of advanced medical technologies and catalyzes our strategy to quickly emerge as an advanced regional and international medical hub.
Health CS Susan Wafula lauded the government for the milestone, further adding that the country aims to improve healthcare facilities from curative to preventive.
Besides them being able to take care of cancer, they are also providing care and expertise to the other centers through the hub and spoke model. And I am aware, Your Excellency, that this institution has already signed MOUs with our different cancer centers, and they're able to provide that expertise. Your Excellency, having said that, this institution as well is giving us what we asked for in our plan of Kenya Kwanza on matters universal health coverage. That besides providing service, they are also a teaching institution.
The machine's unique robotic design keeps radiation on target even as the tumor moves and can be used as an alternative to surgery or for patients with inoperable or surgical complex tumors, and while at it still remains painless and less invasive. Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I am Whitney Akinyi.
Thank you so much, Whitney, for that report. Now, former President Uhuru Kenyatta has been recognized and awarded for his contribution to the peaceful settlement of the conflict in the northern part of Ethiopia. The former president was awarded on Sunday during a recognition program organized by the Ethiopian government to take stock of lessons learned from the African Union-led and Ethiopian-owned peace process. In his remarks at the event held at Friendship Square in Addis Ababa, the former head of state commended the people of Ethiopia for their commitment to finding lasting peace in the northern region, saying the found peace is a testimony that the African continent can resolve her problems. The conflict in northern Ethiopia found a peaceful resolution through the peace agreement signed on the 2nd of November 2022 in Pretoria, South Africa, where the Ethiopian government and the regional forces from Tigray agreed to cease hostilities after nearly 2 years of war.
It has been a long journey, and mine today is to take this opportunity to congratulate you, Mr. Prime Minister, to congratulate the different teams that you led, to congratulate the people of Tigray and the people who joined together with us, to congratulate IGAD, to congratulate all partners who have been part of this journey that has seen this day become a reality where war has now turned to peace. Africa can resolve her problems if left alone to do so. That Africa has the capacity to work out her problems. And I believe what has happened here in Ethiopia is clear testimony to that fact. And we look forward for Ethiopia now beginning to take her rightful role as she brings peace to herself, to take leadership in bringing peace to other conflict areas across the continent of Africa.
Meru Deputy Governor Isaac Mutuma has backed statements from President William Ruto on the 8 dams yet to be constructed in the Meru County as promised by the President during his Meru visit on Saturday. Speaking after a church service at Sita Meru, Mutuma said that the dams will target the dry areas in the county in order to boost agriculture and enhance food security.
We had the privilege of hosting the President of the nation of Kenya, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, and he brought quite goodies for Meru people. To begin with, he brought us 8 dams that are going to cost around 35 billion, according to his word. And as Meru County, we are going to distribute these dams in the most dry parts of Meru, and especially for irrigation, because it is becoming dry. We rely on rain-fed agriculture.
And a team of doctors from Sita Missions landed in Marsabit County on Sunday for a 5-day free medical camp. Led by Cecilia Njeri, the group is in Matarba to provide medical care to livestock and residents suffering from various ailments as one way of spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ.
We are here anticipating to have a medical camp that will be running from today all the way up to Friday. We have different cadres amongst us, the clinicians, MOs, different physicians, and we also have specialists, like we have a nutritionist amongst us. We have a dentist this time round, and we are looking forward to be serving the people of Matarba. So we are inviting them to be joining us. Today we have seen at least 60 patients so far, and we are looking forward to be seeing more.
I want to encourage the community, people from Matarba, Manyabajilo, Kiwanja Ndege, Gabraski, to be willing to show up for the medical camp. The doctors are here and they're willing to give them the best of our services, free of charge.
With that, it's time for a breather here on Hope TV Newswatch. But after the break, our features reporter Faith Imani Mogo brings us a special feature on autism. See you on the other side.
Stroke is a medical emergency that occurs when part of the brain doesn't have enough blood flow, resulting to brain damage and other complications. Recovery time after stroke is different from everyone, and it takes weeks, months, or even years. Some people recover fully, while others have lifelong disabilities which can impact their physical movement, speech, and their daily activities such as eating, dressing, and bathing, among others. But with the right interventions, a person with stroke can make great progress regarding their independence. Stay tuned on Hope TV as I'll be engaging Duncan Chengo, an occupational therapist, on the aftercare of stroke. That's this Tuesday on Health Check with me, Grace Mutiso, at 7:30 p.m. exclusively on Hope TV.
Welcome back. Now, April is Autism Awareness Month, a time to shine a light on the neurological disorder that affects millions of people worldwide. But what is autism and how does it impact those who live with it? Our reporter Faith Imani Mugo has been speaking to experts and caregivers of children affected by autism. Take a look.
For every 25 children born, 4 of them will have autism.
Autism spectrum disorder, ASD, is a developmental disorder that affects social communication and interaction in human beings. Statistics according to the World Health Organization estimates that around the globe, 1 in every 100 children have autism, and the condition can range from mild to severe, according to experts.
Autism is a medical disorder. That should come out very clear. It is a medical disorder. So when the brain development has an issue, you tend to acquire what we call autism spectrum disorder. Traditionally, they were grouped. Like you find someone has a medical condition that is called pervasive brain, like you're not able to learn or you're not able to communicate just because a certain part of the brain did not develop well. As time goes by, we've come to put it together that all these things, it is autism spectrum disorder. So it is an abnormality in brain development of a child. It is a brain disorder that affects a person or a child's behavior, social, and communication skills.
The impact of autism can be felt not just by those living with the condition, but their families and caregivers too.
The school started in 2016.
Violet, a special teacher at the Taffy School, says the school has been in the forefront in supporting children with autism.
Right now, we don't have an autism curriculum, but we have levels that we group them. And these levels, they start with foundation level. Foundation level is a level where it's for beginners. Like the way you take a child into playgroup and learn basic things like holding a pencil, holding a spoon, making the child to settle down, to calm down. That's the foundation level, and teaching basic things like coloring. We do things like pick and drop. We do things like toileting. That's the foundation level. Then after foundation level, we go to intermediate level. Intermediate level, at least sasa asha gain your knowledge ya nini ya holding a spoon, holding a toothbrush, holding a pencil and scribbling. Into intermediate, now you start doing like picture reading, recognizing items, things like body awareness, introduce vocational, but in small bits. And then after intermediate, there is what we call vocational level. Vocational level, we train now the children wamepata hizo skills. So hizo skills sa tunaziperfect, and pia inaendana na pia interest ya mtoto. You know, with these kids living with autism, you can't force them to do something they don't want. Every child ako able in a specific area kuliko ingine.
As Violet narrates, it takes patience to handle and manage children with autism.
You must be patient because each child takes his or her own time to reach a certain goal. And for us here at Taffy, we usually write individualized education programs. Those are goals for each and every child. So these goals are the ones that guide us on what to train the child. Because if a child is admitted at our school, we do, we call it observation. We give 2 weeks of observation. We observe the strengths of the child, the weaknesses of the child, the likes and the dislikes of the child. And then as the staff, we sit down. We say, for example, John can do this and this, and he's not able to do certain things. So whatever is not able to do, that's what we write as our goal. And our main aim here at TAF is to make them as independent as possible.
Over the years, the school has brought up many children with autism. At the moment, only 15 children are enrolled in the school, which she says for each child, they use different approaches for their development. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to autism, and it's important to understand each person's individual needs, as the experts say.
And you find that because of the spectrum, some children have differences in tastes. You may find that the food that you are providing here, the child may take long to adapt to it. Yeah. And other challenges, you may find that some of the kids are too hyper, some are too hyper. Managing them becomes a bit difficult. And also diet helps a lot. The autism diet, the gluten-free, sugar-free, red meat-free, and milk-free foods. Yeah, so here we don't do sugar, we don't do red meat, we don't do milk. Our children here take porridge, take all the cereals, all the grains, uji with no sugar. Yeah, and it helps them to calm down, and it changes them a lot.
According to medics, autism can be diagnosed as early as 2 years, and early intervention can make a big difference in a child's development.
You don't have to wait until a child has fever, for example, to see a pediatrician. Come and see a pediatrician and just ask the pediatrician, this is my feeling about the child, how the child assessed. Early assessment might help us to pick up anything that might be autism in developing. One thing I've seen, we tend to diagnose autism 5 years, 6 years, when it's a little bit late to start the intervention. So bring your children for routine pediatric review. That will help us alleviate any opportunity to have delayed autism.
Specialists say there are many therapies and interventions available for individuals with autism, including behavioral, speech, and occupational therapies.
Some of the challenges that we are facing at TAFI, some of them is lack of early intervention. You find that a child, the parents did take him or her into early intervention. And for us, we love early intervention because that's where we lay the foundation of the child. If the child is more of age and he or she did not begin at school, it becomes a challenge to us because you find that the mind of that child has already grown. So taking him or her into the foundational level, it becomes quite a challenge. Some they don't want to do the activities.
Children with autism often struggle with communication and social interaction, which can make school a challenging environment.
The way I interact, the way I communicate, the way I behave vary on the environment I am, vary on how I was brought up, vary on what I'm doing. The same applies to persons diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. You will find those ones that are too hypersensitive, too hyperactive, and some are very painful stories where the mother has to tie the child inside the house because the child will jump, put the TV down, goes to the kitchen, put everything down, hyperactive. Some, it's totally the opposite. They are just there. They are just there. They don't even know their name. Some, they know their name. They can feed themselves. but they cannot do simple logical things. They cannot learn. They have learning disability. You take this child to school, maybe it is Banda International School. The child doesn't comprehend what the teacher is teaching. You take them to which kind of school? You offer even additional tuition. They are just there. Okay? Because of the disorder that took place in the brain.
So right here, this is one of the therapy rooms that these caregivers and teachers come every single morning to just help the kids relax and kick off their day by massaging them and helping them have a relaxed mood as they kick off the day.
We do applied behavior analysis where we modify behaviors. Behaviors such as things, you may find that children are self-injurious. Some may start biting themselves, some banging their heads, some they want to just climb somewhere high, na ajiangushe. Yeah. So those are the behaviors that we try to modify, and we do lots of therapy to them. They require lots of therapy. They require lots of reinforcement. We have positive and negative reinforcement if a child is self-injurious. Ama kama unataka kutoa behavior mbaya, unatumia positive or negative reinforcement. And what I mean by positive reinforcement is where you reward a child. Unaweza ambia mtoto, usipojiuma, unamreward na kitu yenye anapenda. Maybe the child loves music. I'll give you my phone, watch music for 10 minutes. And for negative reinforcement, ni yenye unamwambia Tanya, ukijiuma, today, the whole of today, no phone for you. Okay, inakuwa ni kama unamrestrict. At least inaenda ikipungua.
Sensory toys and other aids can be helpful for children with autism. They provide a calming and soothing effect that can help children manage their emotions.
But the good thing, when identified early intervention, as time goes by, you realize you have less investment or you have less need for this child, but than when you identify it late. When you identify late, that's where you'll even find a parent has to get like 2 house girls to take care of one child. Just as we were saying that there's low data on autism, it translates to the community that the parents are also not so much aware that, number one, autism is a medical condition. It is not witchcraft. It is not your fault. You cannot say, I did this, and so I caused my child to have autism. So don't keep this child inside the house. Don't hide them. It is a medical condition.
Autism is a complex and often misunderstood condition, but by raising awareness and promoting acceptance, we can make a real difference to the lives of those with autism and their families.
Putting an autism child in a special school is quite expensive, and you may find that a parent feels overwhelmed because they require a lot of care. Some require medicine, and these medicines are quite expensive. We may like the government to fund on the drugs that these children are using because they are very expensive for a parent to, and also fund on the school fees.
Just the way we have National Council for Persons with a Disability register individuals that has disability. Okay? Disability right now, we have different domains of disability. We have physical disability, mental, visual, hearing. Okay? We may need to think under the domain of progressive and something like that. those severe cases of autism spectrum disorder, their parents should be given some benefits that comes with persons registered with disability. We knew that if you are disabled, you had some maybe tax exemption. Your NHIF may be improved. If God helps you, you want to buy a car, it's subsidized maybe or waived. If you need a wheelchair, you can be facilitated. Let's consider the parents. Let's consider the mothers of these children. Because we are not going to wait until this child gets 21 to say this child is disabled. It's a lot of work going on to live with that child just a single day.
Some of the success stories that we have 2 children. We have one who did a class 8. He used to come here for tuitioning. And there is another one who has integrated into a normal, let me call it normal school. Yeah, ndio aendelee kusoma na wengine. We have some who are here, like these, they're the ones who do them. We have candle making. There is one who is always interested in candle making and packaging them. We have children who have come here the age of 14, 15 and above, not toilet trained, but we've trained them and they can go to the toilet independently.
Autistic children require special attention, and as the doctors say, early detection and proper management can help improve the condition of this child. Faith Imani Mugo for Hope TV Newswatch.
Thank you for watching Hope TV, the station where you look and live. For feedback regarding our programming, you can WhatsApp us through 0708 222 323, SMS 22232, website www.hopemediakenya.org, or scan the QR code below.
Welcome back to some business news now. NCTA Meru on Monday hosted Meru Leadership and Economic Development Breakfast Forum, focusing on providing a platform for future engagement towards leadership and economic development matters in the county. Among the key speakers were CITAM Presiding Bishop Kalisto Odede and Meru Women Representative Elizabeth Kailemia. Among other key speakers who emphasized on the need for organizations to focus on issues that will help the country stabilize the economy.
And you migrate that to very well-fed herds of cows. What's happening there? There's economic well-being.
And at the grassroots levels, nothing has really contributed much to the development and the growth of this country than devolution. As a matter of fact, I'm a strong supporter of devolution. I go to counties and I travel quite a lot across this nation. Counties where before, as I used to travel, you would not see something. You go to those places now, you get amazed by the kind of resources that has come down to these nations. Devolution has been an excellent model in bringing down the resources, trickling it to the common people. But as the resources come down to the common people, the necessity for us to have leaders and individuals who are heading institutions, who have ability to handle some of these resources, handle it with a mindset that we actually have the people at heart.
Moving on, and Machakos Governor Wavinya Ndeti has urged other county governments to work on increasing revenue collection, saying that they cannot always depend on the national government. Speaking at Matungulu sub-county in Machakos, Governor Ndeti said that since taking charge, she has sealed loopholes which have seen Machakos County revenue increase by huge margins. This comes at a time when the Council of Governors have threatened to shut down the counties in 2 weeks' time over the delay of funds by the National Treasury.
Sisi kama county government ya Machakos tumejaribu vile tunaweza. Pesa za serikali za mwisho zile tulipata ni za Disemba. Sisi tumeokota kodi na mpaka sasa hakuna mfanyikazi ajalipwa katika Machakos County. Tunajaribu vile tunaweza. 2 weeks ago tumehit 1 billion kuokota pesa. Na pesa ya Machakos mimi nimesema nitachunga. Pesa ya devolution hapo sisi hatutaki mchezo, kwa sababu sisi ndio tunabeba watu wengi. Huku kwa ground kuna shida mingi. Na ningeomba Senate waangalie, wafikirie sana hii mswada wameangusha ya kukataa kuongeza county pesa. Sisi tunataka county ziongezwe pesa, na tukiongezwa pesa sisi kama pia magavana tujikakamue tuokote pesa. You cannot just rely on the national government.